everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Bethany and today I'm going to be getting rid of some books. I didn't count, but I want to say I've got like 40 books here. So I'm pretty proud of that. I've been doing a lot of shelf reorganizing lately. And some of them just didn't make the cut. So I do have a big stack of just like duplicate books that I'm going to get rid of because I own like a matching copy, like one that matches the rest of the series, or I just like don't need this one anymore, but I'll talk about that. So let's start there because I'm just going to like whip through them pretty quickly. So this is The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. I have all of her books in like the taller, like nicer thriller format. This one was like $1 one time, so I just got it, but now that I have a nicer one, I don't need this. I also still haven't read it, but I am getting through her books, so this is definitely on the list. I'm also getting rid of this copy of one of the Outlander books. It's The Fiery Cross, which is the 5th one, I think. I've still only read to book 3, but I'm going to finish them. I am. I just heard that she's finished writing the newest book, which is exciting. They're just such a commitment, but I've decided that I can't handle these mass market paperbacks. They're great for travel. Obviously, I haven't been doing any traveling, so I've started collecting the hardcovers, which are like beautiful and chunky. They're also very expensive, so I'm just thrifting them and kind of like getting rid of these as I go. But yeah, I really do want to continue with this series. It's just like a lot. I also have a duplicate copy of Breaking Dawn. Don't really know why I have this and was almost tempted to keep it for absolutely no reason. But I have like a special edition hardcover, so I certainly don't need this one to add to my extensive Twilight shelf. And then I weirdly have multiple copies of The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan and the next 2 books in the Heroes of Olympus series. I have them all in hardcover now. I think I thrifted them all. But this I bought because it was like $1 one time and I needed to read it. I did end up getting the hardcover, so that's fine. And this was the same, like it came kind of as like a package deal with some other Rick Riordan books. So I knew I was going to get rid of it as soon as I got the hardcovers anyway. I've still only read book 1 in this series too, but I am getting there. Okay, next up I have a paperback copy of The Queen of Nothing. I was originally going to get these books in paperback, and then I saw the first 2 at Valley Village in hardcover. They were nice hardcovers and they were only like $3, so I decided to just commit to those. So yeah, probably going to sell this one because it's in literally perfect condition. I don't even know if I read it. Like I read it, but I think I read the ebook. But anyway, getting rid of the paperback. Same thing for the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. These are the original cover paperbacks. I now have the new hardcovers with the Illumicrate dust jackets on them, which are stunning and perfect. These, I feel like you can't buy these anymore because they're the old covers, so I might hold on to them just to see if they become like rare or anything. The hardcovers I know you can sell for like a lot of money, which is weird to me, but I'll probably just keep them for nostalgia. I also have this bind up of the His Dark Materials series by Philip Pullman. I managed to get these in a really nice hardcover box set, so I don't need this one anymore. I've had this for years since I was a kid, but I'm not emotionally attached to this copy. I don't think it's the one I originally read, so we're getting rid of that. And same kind of thing for Clockwork Princess. This is just like a regular hardcover, and I found a like collector's first edition one. I think it has a family tree or something at a thrift store for like $2. So not the kind of thing I would have replaced if it was like full price. But for a couple bucks, why not? And this I'm sure will go to a good home. Okay, so those are all the duplicate ones, which I'm not like really getting rid of because I still have the books on my shelves. So let's get into the stuff that's a little more interesting. So I've got Beautiful Creatures. This I feel like was made into a movie, yeah, in 2013. Don't know if I ever watched it. I know I read this, but I know I didn't continue the series and I have no memory of it. So I just don't feel like I need this anymore. And then I have Tithe by Holly Black. I have like the whole Modern Fairy Tales collection now in the white cover. And I just hate these little ones. They're annoying to me. Don't know if I'm actually going to read them, to be honest, but I certainly don't need 2 copies. I also have Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This is a like contemporary historical fiction kind of. I just don't see myself reading it. I thought I was going to be excited about it, and I'm just not, so unhauling it. I also have this really beat up copy of The Dutch Wife by Ellen Keith. I just hate how it looks on my shelf because these library stickers are on here. I got this for free from the library, and I did read it, and it was good. I just can't handle this. There's another duplicate that I didn't put on the right pile. Here we are. This is Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson. I have these in hardcover now, so I don't need the paperback. I really did not go through this list well. Same thing, I now have this in hardback. And this is Fever by Lauren DeStefano. This is part of the Chemical Garden trilogy, which is like a classic, terrible YA dystopian about like women being, I don't know if you can see Lena, but she's falling around. Like women are in sex slaves or something weird, but they're nostalgic to me, you know? I also have Waterfall by Lauren Kate, which is another library discard. I looked up the reviews of this, and it has like a 3.2 on Goodreads. It's also a sequel, so I just sense that I'm not going to like it, and I don't want it. So, I have 2 mass market paperbacks here just because I realized that I hate these. They look terrible on shelves, and I don't like reading them. I know they're more compact, but I would prefer to carry around a big book. So this is Murder on the Orient Express, and this is The Other Boleyn Girl. Books that I am interested in, I just don't like these covers or these sizes. This I don't feel requires much explanation. This is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I hated it. I also have The Disasters by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. I was a little conflicted on this just because it's like a gorgeous book. Like, it's got these cool end papers, and it's got apocalyptic things involved, which I always like, but the reviews are terrible. I think I would have liked this when I was 13, but not now, so I'm just going to pass it along. I also have these Emily Giffin books. These were like fun, like adult romances. I read them when I was quite young, and they're like good. I just don't feel like I'm going to reach for them as much as I might reach for some of my new adult romance favorites. And she just has so many books that I'm like, I don't super want to collect them all, and I feel like if I have some of her books, I need them all. So I'm just going to get rid of them. This, I don't even remember when I got it. It's The Summer Wind by Mary Alice Monroe. I looked up reviews, and it's actually like pretty good, but it's like a classic summer romance, like Nantucket or something. And I'm not going to get to it. Next up is The Circle by Dave Eggers. This was a movie starring Emma Watson, which I watched, and like it was pretty good. But the book has like a 3.2 on Goodreads, and I didn't like it that much. So I kept this just because it was on my Red Rainbow shelf and it looked good. But see, this is really cool. But I'm trying to get past keeping books just because they're pretty, because I can have books that are pretty and books that I love all in one package, so I don't need ones that are just pretty. Another one that doesn't require a ton of explanation is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I have no interest in this. I also have Across the Universe by Beth Revis. I feel like a lot of people like these. So I used to own the first one, and then I got rid of it because I was like, oh no, I'm not going to read it. And then I saw it again at a thrift store, got it for like $1, and I just still don't want to read it. So I don't know why I'm trying to convince myself that I want to. It's like a space, something about space, YA, sci-fi. And I don't know why. I don't have a reason. Like, I'm pretty sure it's good. I just don't want to. Another Nantucket romance. This is Beautiful Day by Elin Hilderbrand. She is the kind of author whose books I might like to pick up if they're like at a hostel or like a beach house, but I don't need to own them because I don't really care about them. Is that harsh? I don't know. I also have The Nest by Cynthia Dupree Sweeney. I remember reading this and it was like very fine, and I don't feel the need to reread it again. Again, it's just a pretty cover, but like this is one of the books that you can find at a thrift store anytime, anywhere. So if I really want to get it again, I can, but I just don't think that this is what I'm into right now. Okay, we are getting there. Next up, I have No Safety in Numbers by Dana Lorenz. I read this trilogy in the fall, and I actually really liked the first book. It's about like there's a flu virus at a mall, so they get quarantined. The first book was really fun, but then the second book was like one of the worst things I've ever read. So I just know I'm not going to revisit it. But the cover is so cool. But again, we're being strong. So if you ever read these, just treat it like a standalone. I also have The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. This is like a really cool dystopian. I remember really liking it, but every time I see the sequels at a thrift store, even if they're really cheap, I'm like, I don't really need that. Which makes me think that I'm probably not going to read the first book, because normally I'd be like excited about finishing a series. So I just think I'm going to get rid of this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to give it to my coworker, because they like the classic YA dystopians too. But yeah, I don't know why I don't want this anymore, but I don't. I also have 13 Reasons Why and Before I Fall, which just kind of have a similar vibe to me. This is the one that the show is based on, and this had a movie actually. I liked these when I was a teenager. They're just not really my cup of tea right now. I find that the older I get, the less I like YA contemporary. I did still really like them even like a couple years ago, but now I'm 25 and I would much rather read about a 30-year-old falling in love than a 16-year-old. It's just not where I'm at in my life. So don't need these. Oh yeah, I have another Emily Giffin book. This is The One and the Only, and this was genuinely terrible. Like, it's some football town weird. I hated it. Like, I think I gave it 2 stars. So if I'm not going to keep her other books, I'm certainly not going to keep this one. I also have The Carrie Diaries by Candace Bushnell. This is like a YA Sex and the City. Like, it's before Sex and the City. I've had this for years. I liked it. I just don't, like, I'm not going to reread this. I used to be more of like a YA romance person, and that was kind of most of what I read. My dishwasher is being so loud. But now I just, meh. I also have The Adoration of Jenna Fox by Mary E. Pearson. This does sound intriguing. Someone wakes up from a coma and she can't remember anything or something like that. But I just, meh. Again, I would have liked it 5 years ago. So now I don't. Every time I sit back down from getting books, Luna like bounces and it's really funny. I also have this Seekers and Riders series by Veronica Rossi. These do sound good to me, like they're something that I would want to read. I don't like the covers. They also are not the same size, so that really bothers me. But I just feel like there's hundreds of books out there that I want to read before I read these. So if I'm being realistic with myself, I'm never going to read these. Does that make sense? On a similar vein of like the YA contemporary thing, I have The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. It sounds good. It's got cute doggos on the cover. I just don't really care. I also have Heist Society by Allie Carter. I have her Gallagher Girls series, like that I'm keeping out of nostalgia, but I never actually read these. And I guarantee they're too young for me now, so I don't need to keep it. And finally, this one is People Kill People by Ellen Hopkins. This is written in verse, I think, a little bit. And I don't really like reading novels in verse. I think that's a personal failing. It's not a criticism of the genre, but they're just not my thing, and I keep not picking this up even though it's been on my shelves for like a year. So I will pass it along to someone who will appreciate Ellen Hopkins more than me. So that is all the books that I'm getting rid of. I actually have like a couple empty-ish shelves on my bookcase now. So I can go fill them, which is exciting. Yeah, let me know if there's any of these that you think I should keep. Like, I'm probably not going to end up actually donating them for like a week. So please comment below if there's any of these that you're like, Bethany, read this book. Until the next video, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!